I hope that you've had a wonderful Tuesday. I wanted to come on to talk about coping with losing your married life. It really is all about perspective. I've been seeing so much over the past month, uh, just um, just ladies, just their hearts are just broken, and they're just feeling very sad. And this is one of the most popular times to break up. It just is. And it's second to January, at the beginning of the year. Obviously, because people are saying this is a new year, I want new things, and so that's a popular time to break up. But this is also a popular time because people, if they have kids, don't want to then tell the kids, break it to the kids, and then have it do that while the kids are in school. So especially if they have to move, they don't want to have to move while the kids are still in school. And so this is the most second most popular time of the year to break up. And so a lot of ladies have really just been just pouring out their hearts and saying that they are having a hard time coping with this. They're having a hard time, really getting their arms around this. I'm going to make some tea while I'm talking to you. They're really having a hard time with managing all of their feelings. And that's really basically what it is, just managing their feelings, getting used to doing things by themselves, thinking about the holidays and how they're going to manage that with the kids, because, the old things that they used to do, they're really not going to they're going to have to think up what new traditions that they want to start and things like that. They miss their old house if they're having to sell it, or even if they lived in an apartment, they are just missing the way things used to be. And whether they're the ones who filed or not, it can be, as the song used to say, a bitter, jagged pill. And I just want to come on and bring some comfort to you, because it really is about how you're now going to look at things. There are so many ladies, especially, well, men too. There's so many people who are going through a breakup, and the hardest thing that they really have to come to grips with is coming to grips with what their financial future looks like, coming to grips with now being down to one income, coming to grips with they had a certain expectation, certain dreams, certain things that they wanted in their heart for their future, as far as retirement and all the things that they wanted to do when they got older. And they're now realizing that, at least with this person, those things aren't going to become reality. And it really is so much harder to then shift to a different standard of living. And that's essentially what happens, especially for women. A lot of times women who, in their first 18 months of their separation or divorce, their standard of living sometimes is just at the poverty level. And that's not uncommon. And so even for women who, may make a decent income, sometimes, just taking that hit financially, sometimes some of the debt that you take on from the divorce, all of those things. And, they just have a hard time really adjusting. Sometimes they'll continue spending as though they still have that second income. And that really is something that can really roll back on you pretty hard. And I really want to caution you, if you're grappling with feelings of failure because you feel, you can't spend the way you used to, that's not failure. That is you being a good mom. This is what I mean by a change or shift in perspective. No, this is you showing your kids that when you do have to make an adjustment, when things don't turn out the way you had hoped, this is the fiscal responsible thing to do. This is the responsible thing to do as far as managing your money and how money should be treated, and how money should be managed by responsible adults. That's what you're training your kids. That's what you're being an example for. That is what you're providing, real world experience, real world examples, not this fantasy, these, kids who don't really have a decent job, but yet, in these, in these shows, whether they be a variety show, whatever type of show, these movies, they're living in these, $1 million houses, and nobody can figure out who's paying the bills. It's like, no, this is what real life looks like. And, to bounce back and get back on our feet, sometimes, we have to do what Dave Ramsey says. Sometimes you have to live like no other so that later on you can live like no other. And look at it that way. It really is just having to go through this sacrifice for a season, and to be able to bounce back and come out stronger than you did when you went in. Because this time you get to say, you get to vote for what happens to 100% of the money. Let me turn this off, sorry. It's starting to boil over. You get 100% of the say of what happens to all the money. And, you're just accountable to you. And you are going to be the one who's going to be able to really manage and make sure things get done the way they need to get done. And, that's one of the best life lessons you give your kids. So that's number one. Making a shift in your financial spending, in your financial planning, your financial outlook. When I mean financial planning, I just mean, making a budget, a monthly budget. And knowing that, hey, I need to make just a little bit of wiggle room, just in case of, unforeseeable whatevers. Doing those types of things are really so important for kids to see, because, they don't really see examples of that on TV. TV is just so out of this world, so far from reality, as you and I know, right? But, let me just tell you this case in point. Gosh, years ago, I knew of a young lady who had a stepson, and stepson comes walking in. This was probably about 12 years ago. Stepson comes walking in, and he goes, "Oh, you never guess what? Oh gosh, what's her name? Oh, it's Lionel Richie's daughter, Nicole Richie." Yeah, he goes, "Nicole Richie, ha ha ha. Her dad, now he wants to, weasel in on the music industry and play off of his daughter's fame." And I'm like, yeah, that's the way it happened. Oh my goodness, if I would have been in the room, I would have been rolling on the floor. I mean, he literally had no clue that Lionel Richie is one of the most prolific songwriters of the 20th century, the latter part of the 20th century, from probably the late 1960s onward, and that's how Nicole Richie is able to live in, swanky Beverly Hills. It's not just because she's pretty. And that's the way, and that's how she got to, rub elbows with, Paris Hilton. It's daddy. So I'm just simply saying, your kids aren't going to get that, reality check from TV and movies. They get it from us. And so, we show them how to put it down and pick up that banner and run and do what we need to do for a season. Get the pain over with. Because the sooner that you accept the way things really are financially for you, the quicker that you're able to make that shift, to make the proper plans for yourself and for your kids. And, sometimes that may mean moving in with families. Sometimes that may mean moving to a smaller place. Sometimes that may mean, maybe taking a job in a different city because you'll make more money and the cost of living is cheaper. Whatever it is that you need to do, which is that shift, your kids are watching, that they're sponges. And so, it really is all about perspective and not taking on that badge of shame because it doesn't belong there. There's, just rip that badge off, rip it off, because it doesn't belong there. There's no shame in making the adjustments that you need to make, because, you're going through a breakup. That's the responsible thing to do. What I see over and over again is people not wanting to really come to, that come to Jesus talk, and they continue spending, and they get another credit card, and they continue spending and spending. until, you know, they try to juggle and keep all the balls in the air, and then that day comes. Hey, Belinda, thank you. You know, that day comes and it's worse than what it needs to be. And that's so true. You know, if you think, you know, oh my gosh, I can't go through the shame and embarrassment of people seeing me, you know, not being able to do what I used to do. You know, because I tell folks all the time, look, you know, you may have to, you know, call up your girlfriends and say, you know what, you know, I know I've always been the party planner, and I've always been the one who, you know, planned the birthdays for our girlfriends and where we go out to eat, or where we're going to go, you know, over somebody's house and we can spend to decorate. You know, just tell them, for right now, you know, somebody else is going to have to pick up that banner. Somebody else is going to have to help out. You know, I may be able to do, you know, maybe just this right now, where I used to be able to do this, you know. And so, and if they love you and they care about you and they're on your, you know, they are for you, they are on your team, they'll be like, you know what, girl, we got your back. Don't worry about it. You know, we'll figure out something, you know, something that everybody can participate in, and we're still going to have a good time and laugh until our stomach hurts, you know, and all of that. Because if you really think about it, you know, the few people that you do confide in, you know, because you have to have wisdom, you know, because you don't open up to everybody about really what's going on with you. I mean, some people, you know, who may know you from a distance, you know, I didn't put the tea bag in. Some people who know you from a distance, you know, maybe be able to see, okay, you know, hey, maybe she had to downsize the car that she had to drive, you know, some stuff like that. But you know what? If people are going to gossip, you know, this is what I say. Here's your flag. No, I'm teasing, for real. You know, we speak a blessing over them. We speak a blessing over them and wish them well. And, you know, pray that, you know, they spend their time more wisely other than gossiping about somebody else. But, you know, they're going to do what they're going to do. But you can't worry about that. You can't allow that to disrupt the things that you need to do for you and your kids. And so I talk a lot more about that. And I'm going to be talking more about that, actually. The focus of the group of ladies that I work with on Facebook, it's called The Group, and the focus this month is from loneliness to loving me, you know. So we're going to be talking about really, you know, just digging deep about loneliness. Sometimes why some women feel so much shame because, you know, they may have been in a really bad marriage where the husband's really acted a fool and showed his behind and embarrassed the hell out of her. But she feels really conflicted, and sometimes she even misses him, and she is embarrassed and ashamed and feels disgrace because she knows that goes against everything that makes sense to her. And, you know, sometimes, you know, women are so embarrassed to even admit that they have these feelings and that they suffer so much in silence. And so we're really going to be kind of digging deep into these types of things, sometimes these things that are a little bit uncomfortable to talk about. But a lot of times, you know, if we release it in safe places, you know, again, because you can't just go, you know, you have to use wisdom. And so, you know, that's going to be the focus this month. And we're going to have a training video on the third week of this month that I'm going to be putting together about that. And so there's also bonus training videos. Actually, this will probably be one of the bonus training videos that I'll upload into our group. And so if you want more information about that, you can, at the top of my Facebook page, I have information about the group pinned to the top of my page. And so you can take a look at that and, you know, decide whether that's the next best step for you. Because we're going to have a big kickoff September 5th, which is right after Labor Day. And right now we have a special pre-launch mentorship rate going on. So you're going to save $20 right now if you sign up now. September 5th, it's going up $20. Okay, so just know there's not going to be any exceptions, you know, for real, it's going up $20 for real, okay? So, you know, just see if that's the next best step for you. I know I can help you. I've helped so many ladies. Right now we have about 50 ladies that are in our group, and so I'd love to meet you, work with you, and really help you to just get launched into your happy single life. All right. So, and I'll also put a link at the bottom of this video, also in the comment section of this video. So, Belinda, I hope that you be really just able to get something out of this. And if you know somebody who is really struggling with this, share this video with them. You know, as many people as I can help, and really just help them to just calm their hearts and heal their hearts. That's really what I love to do. So thank you, Belinda. Thank you, other ladies. Sometimes if you're typing things and you press enter, it takes a minute for it to upload into Facebook. It's just the way Facebook is. But, you know, I'll see it anyway. I read every single comment. And so if I don't see what you're typing right now, I will see it as soon as I go back and get back to my computer. Okay. So, okay, good. You did enjoy. Okay. I did see that, Belinda. You did enjoy. Thank you so much. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I will see you. Hey, Selena. It's good to see you. Yes, you are so welcome. You are so welcome, Selena. You absolutely. All right, ladies. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care.